As you can tell on the screen right now, I watched the video from Don Coolio and he asked a pretty good question. That's why is Dragon Ball Fighterz getting more love in terms of quick communication in comparison to Sparking Zero, which takes months for them to communicate back with the player base. And I'm gonna answer this question as honestly as I can, and it comes down to competition. Dragon Ball Fighterz is an actual fighting game, a part of the fighting game community. And if you know anything about the fighting game community, gameplay comes first. So if the gameplay is not hitting and those developers aren't communicating with the player base is just going to lead to the next fighting game. And right now, Dragon Ball Fighterz has a ton of competition. I'm going to just name all the fighting games that are out right now. Right, you got Under Night 2, Guilty Gear Strive, which is Arc Syst's most successful fighting game at the moment. You got Street Fighter 6, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, 2XKO, Hunter x Hunter Net Impact, Tekken 8, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. That's not even all of them, and we didn't even begin to name the ones that are coming out in the future, like Marvel Tokon Souls, the Invincible 3v3 fighting game, the Avatar The Last Airbender fighting game, and Virtual Fighter is coming back. So when you think about it, there's so many options right now that if Bandai is not on point with Dragon Ball Fighterz, the fighting game players, people who actually play fighting games, are just gonna dip to other games. And Bandai, outside of Tekken 8, all those games that I named, Bandai owns none of them. And that's gonna be important real quick when I talk about Sparking Zero. Now let's talk about Sparking Zero. It has no competition, and Bandai's already made mad money from it. So there's no urgency for Bandai to keep updating or communicating with Sparking Zero. The only other big arena fighters out right now are Bleach and Demon Slayer, and they don't really compare because arena fighters don't compete with each other in the same way that other game genres compete with each other. Why? Because arena fighters are anime simulators, right? So it's more about how the game recreates the anime than about like its gameplay. So Bleach fans are going to stay on Bleach, Demon Slayer fans are going to stay on Demon Slayer, and Dragon Ball fans are going to stay on Dragon Ball. They're not going to be switching over because they're completely different IPs and they're playing for the IP, they're not playing for the gameplay. Right? And let's say you say, okay, you could switch to Xenoverse then, right? You could switch from Sparking Zero to Xenoverse, but Bandai still owns Xenoverse, right? Bandai has a monopoly over all these anime IPs. They own dang near all of them, right? So Bandai still wins because they own both. So it doesn't really matter to them, at least in my eyes, it doesn't really matter to them whether you're playing Sparking Zero or whether you're playing Xenoverse, because they own both. So at the end of the day, they profit. So that's really the difference, is that Fighterz has to deal with competition when Sparking Zero doesn't. And that's why Bandai can stay really quiet with Sparking Zero and do the things that they are doing with Sparking Zero right now. They can't really do that with Fighterz. And, you know, they've been finessing anime fans for over a decade now. They know the method. Bandai knows the method, and they've been finessing anime fans for over a decade. So that's my answer to it. I hope it answers some of the questions. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments section below. Thank you all for viewing this short. I'm signing off, and God bless. Have an amazing day or night.